Okay, in this section we're going to have a look at what we can do with our arrow tool. As you know, Point HD Trainer has the ability to do stretchy arrows, and we can have those in different colors and sizes. So in here I've already added a couple of arrows inside my tool set, but let's see how we can adjust those and add something new from scratch. So let's close out of the scene and let's go into a new scene mode. I'm just going to add in a background so that we can see the effects of our arrow tool in a little bit better way. So let's pick on a still image and fill that into the background. So we'll start by adding in the arrow tool. So again, click on the arrow, it adds one. We'll add a couple in there so that we can just see the differences. Okay, so by default this is what the arrow tool will have as its settings, and in some of the other tutorial videos I'll show you how you can change the default setups. But for now, if we click and hold on the tool button inside the toolbar, you'll see the configuration menu pop up, and within here you've got a number of settings that you can play around with. So most common is, okay, we want to change the color of the arrow, then we can do that. Again, we have RGB sliders that allow us to set up a precise color shade. We've also got an alpha button here which makes any part of the arrow semi-transparent or totally transparent, and this allows the viewer to actually see some of the action whenever some graphics are being drawn. So that's quite a nice, neat way of using the alpha side of things. Okay, and if we want to, let's say, play around with the size of the tool, then we can do that in here. We've got things like head configurations, heights. So again, you know, you can set up any of the tools exactly the way that you want them to look like on screen. And one of the other neat things that we can do is to actually add textures within here. So let me do that. So if you click on arrow parts, and first of all we want to click on the on section, and let's add a texture inside the body of the arrow, and this way you can make the arrows look totally different to anything else. So again, we'll click on, and you can see you can fill it with the solid color, but I'm also going to change to a texture. I'll select the texture to be on, and let's choose a tiled texture. So we're going to click on the select button, and in here in the point samples folder you'll find underneath the animated texture sections a number of different textures to play around with. So let's stick with the arrows, and let's go into the red arrow section, and you will notice that you have a text file. So click on the text file. This text file basically defines the animation sequence that's going to be played. So we'll click on open, and now as you can see on my sample I've got the red graphic being brought in and being used as a texture. You can also control things like the speed of the animation within the actual tool. So if we click on that, we can say OK, and let's say we want to get rid of this background color. So again, click on the color and drop the alpha down to 0. So now you can see you've got just a plain arrow with the animated graphic being shown within that. Okay, so in this way you can customize any of the arrow tools, or in fact many of the other tools within Point HD Trainer can all be adjusted in the same way. Don't forget, once you've created your setup, you want to hit the close button and save your scene.